Hey you all, hope you guys are having a good day today. I wanted to get on here because I wanted to talk about resilience. You know, God's been kind of placing things in my path to talk about this. And I was watching this TED talk the other day, which was so ironic. And it was talking about how this young lady, she's so beautiful, and you could tell that her heart is really beautiful. But she was talking about how she overcame, graduating and being the first in her generation to graduate. And she talked a lot about resilience. And the meaning of resilience is like overcoming obstacles, being able to bounce back, stuff like that, from a lot of different things. But she was talking about this and how she had, battled homelessness with her family. They battled homelessness and they were sleeping from friend's house to friend's house. But she ended up having to move to another place to actually pursue her going to school because she felt like she wanted to break that generational situation to where she'll be the first person to graduate from college. So she ended up moving to another place and she ended up graduating. But during the time, she talked about her core values and what she actually learned during that time, which was humility, resilience, other things that she said, like encouraging others, finding your tribe. Like, she talked a lot about that. And it just reminded me of like how God gives us strength and how God gives us strength to be resilient in the midst of adversities, And there's a Bible verse that says, God gives you strength and, you can do all things through Christ that strengthen you, which is so true. When you trust in God, God will give you the strength to overcome a lot of things. But I thought her story was really beautiful because she talked about how humility came out while she was there and how, she was going to classes, I think doing like a math class for like 15 hours doing tutoring because math was hard, which math is hard for me too. I'll be like, I ain't good at math. But there's some people that can like do math off the top of their head, like off the top of their dome piece and code with it. But it's crazy because she was talking about how she was going for 15 hours and this young man that was tutoring her started to ask her like, well, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? What's the purpose of this? And she started to explain to him, and he was like, but why do you feel that you need to do 15 hours? What's motivating you? Like, she has said that he went past and really seen through her generic answer and actually saw through to her heart and like what he was actually trying to see. Like, he really wanted to know what was her why. She said she broke in tears because she was like, nobody ever asked her why do you keep going, what is motivating you to do this? And she said that really touched her heart, and that she seen that humility was a big part of her graduating and her really pushing through, along with a lot of other little things. But remember to be resilient when you even have that just in you, because sometimes God builds us that way, to be resilient. And I know obstacles come to where it can try to slow us down or stop us from doing certain things. But when you bounce back, you may take a break, but when you bounce back stronger. Because like I said, God gives us the strength for it. He gives us the strength to pray, strength to ask him for strength, and then he will renew you with that. So I'm gonna put the clip at the end, but I definitely wanted to leave you with this clip. It's a TED talk and I seen it the other day and I thought it was just a great story, so I definitely recommend going to go watch it. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys like the clip. All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Sandwiches for dinner, or all the cool ways that we spiced up our ramen noodles to make them into home-cooked meals. The opportunity to be in college and to broaden my horizons has substantially helped me develop into and become the woman that I used to see in the mirror 7 years ago and wish I could have been back then when we were at rock bottom. And so with that, I realized that to some of you, you might feel bad or this might make you feel uneasy, but I just want you to know that I couldn't be more grateful for those experiences because they molded me into who I am today. And although the situations were not ideal, it did bring my family closer together, and we always found a way to make each other laugh, even when there was no clear light at the end of the tunnel. And so these attributes and those experiences is why I have the privilege of being a TED speaker today. And so I want to leave 5 pieces of advice for you all on how you can incorporate these attributes into your lives wherever it takes you after today. And so the first one is to learn to appreciate your struggles. So I think a lot of people don't realize how they can really help you. But you do have to be adaptable in the aftermath because life will throw some crazy stuff at you, but you have to be able to use them as your motivation. And they've molded you into who you are, and they've prepared you to handle more than you can even possibly imagine. Number 2, be courageous. And by this, I mean, don't ever be afraid to share your personal experiences or your obstacles with other people, because sometimes it only takes one person to talk about things that they've been through or some things that they've had to overcome to make other people feel more comfortable with their own. Number 3, be true to yourself. You have to be true to yourself because your foundation is built upon it. Number 4, always challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, then you will lose the opportunities that arise from adversity. And then last but not least, remember that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.